is Ed Harris, the Getting Better podcast. Welcome to the first. This is the official. I guess we can say this is number one. So welcome, y'all. So let me tell you a little bit about the format. It's different. If you follow me in the past, before I retired from pastoring or anything like that, you know, we went from like shooting things in the garage about 12, 13 years ago to doing things more professional, thanks to some of my friends that are in the video business and my son growing and learning. And then we got pretty regimented about and pretty production, like low budget production style. And so I want to tell you a little bit about the format of this show. So the show is a journey. The Getting Better podcast, the Getting Better show, the Getting Better vlogs, all journey. And it's not my journey, it's our journey. But I'm narrating. So as we go through and I get the gift of narrating, we're going to get to talk about a lot of different things. The reason why I brought in all those different eras, years, decades, different stuff is because, man, we have messed up as much as we've grown. And the format of this will be similar to that. Like we're starting all over. There's no budget for anything. There's no production going into this. And so these first podcasts are a podcast from like my iPhone, for example. We have some microphones, but I think it's more about let's get out and talk to people. Let's get out and do what we can do. And from that, I think the heart of that hopefully will encourage you that sometimes we allow things to stop us, right? If I had the microphones or the gear or the setup or the crew or production team or whatever budget, then I would get after it. But sometimes you don't have it. And sometimes you have it, but you don't know how to use it. Or sometimes, and they could just become excuses, man. And I want to encourage you just in this first episode to dig deep for possibly, and maybe it's not dig deep, maybe it's shallow, but take a look, let's say it that way, for things that possibly could be stopping you from going out there, launching your goal. Launching your dream, achieving your goal. I'm excited, man, to talk to y'all and interview some people, and chiefly of the people I want to interview, chief of the top of the list, first on the list, my wife. So she went from homeschool mom, married to a minister, stay-at-home mom, homeschool mom, and then she's gone from that to starting to live out her dreams as an entrepreneur and eventually a multiple business owner. And so we get to interview her, y'all, and talk to her about that journey. Not, okay, let me try to shape the opinion or let me infuse my or your idea. Let's hear from somebody she don't talk to people in like interviewing and podcasting, all that type of stuff. That's not her thing. But her thing is she's gone through this. And so we get to learn from her. And by the way, all the time while we're getting our production together, and you'll watch the Getting Better, literally the Getting Better show, Get Better. So that's what's different about this. It's sort of a journey, and then you get to get better at the same time. And we don't just get to talk about it, right? We get to be about it, and we get to encourage, and you get to come back every week and hear somebody else that is improving in some area of their life, or you get to share, and email in to the show. By the way, you email to the show, coachedharris@gmail.com, just a traditional Gmail account. Just email, and you can put in there your testimony or your progress, how you're getting better. So like for me, how this is playing out is we've had to abandon all our ideas of the past or whatever we may have accomplished or didn't accomplish as a team, or whatever accolades I received in the past. All that's gone. We can't live in the past. And what do we have today? I have a passion. I want to talk to you all about so many things. And so that's why it's not just relationship. That's why it's not just, mental health or physical fitness. And when I say physical fitness, I'm not talking about being a bodybuilder, and we get into all of that. It's just not about your children, or some of y'all are having children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren. It's not just about that. It's not just about settling in your singleness or becoming accustomed to a new life after being with somebody for a long time, like becoming a widow. Not just all those things, but all those things. And so we get better. We get to pray through and learn and grow together. And I feel like our community is going to be strong. So even as we get started here, and this is episode 1, you got the intro episode in front of this, but this is absolutely episode 1, right off the cuff, right from my iPhone. Share these with a friend and say, hey, you know what? This podcast is different. This video is different. With this series, what they're doing on this channel is we're going to grow together. And you'll see whenever we are able to be blessed, man, and go out there and we worked and prayed and we got microphones. And all of a sudden, now we got a mini studio. Now, all of a sudden, now we're able to interview the kind of people that we always wanted to interview, in addition to interviewing the people that we always needed to interview. So not just local town people who are making it big, but people who've already experienced immense success and bring them to the community. And we get to go out and do gatherings. There'll be limited registration and go out and ride together and walk together and do excursions and boot camps, whatever, however it goes. We'll be working on each other, with each other, and going forward. And so I guess I want to close this episode by saying there probably are some things that you need to work on that maybe you've chosen to stop because the climate was not right, aka you don't have what you feel like are the right resources. For example, you want to be an author. Well, because you don't have a deal today or you don't have the plan worked out doesn't mean you don't work on writing. Doesn't mean you don't work on researching what the latest trends are. And that doesn't mean stop working on your attitude, which is, hey, you know what? God put this in my heart. God put this purpose, this passion in my heart, and I'm going to keep working. And, I'm going to just keep working and we'll trust him for the outcome. And I'm not going to speak negativity over my publishing or whatever. Fill in the blank. Yours might be to become an Ironman enter the Ironman competition and do an Ironman. I used to be trained and hung out with a guy who did Ironman a year. He did he did an Ironman a year, and maybe your goal is to do one Ironman or finish one triathlon, finish one. Whatever your goal is, write a book, do a family plan. Sometimes people want to do like family planning, do a first family plan or do a family mission statement. Hey, yeah, you can do it. Start today. Write a paragraph. There's something you can do, but don't stop thinking about what you want to do or let it plague you that in your mind, I can't do it. Well, if I had this, don't let that be your mindset. Let your mindset be, I can do all things. And I know it may sound cliche for those of you who are church going and understand that scripture, but through him, we can do all things. So if our intellect is telling us we cannot, we need to challenge our intellect and say, yes, we can. And if that's the argument we need to have with our intellect every day while we're making small steps toward our goal, we do that. Listen, it's been Ed Harris. It's been a pleasure being back with you guys. First episode in the books, and looking forward to getting better with more and more episodes to come. Until then, stay blessed, guys.